Only 10 games left in the NHL season. Which teams are best positioned for high seeding in the playoffs and which ones are going to be scrapping till the very last day to make it in? Let's go through our power rankings, starting at the bottom with the Vancouver Canucks, who are in a bottomless pit of despair. No need to dwell on this team. Everything about them is just absolutely horrible, and the only thing that can bring Canucks fans any semblance of joy is if they do win the draft lottery. And speaking of the draft lottery, there are three teams that are going to be doing mock drafts for the next few months, those being the Blackhawks, Flames, and Maple Leafs. Uh, with the caveat for the Maple Leafs that they might not have their first round pick because they traded it away to the Boston Bruins for Brandon Carlo. Yeah, I better hope you get a top five pick, guys. Above them, three teams who are just plain bad. They're not that terrible, but they're not making the playoffs, so be penciled in as wins on the other team's schedule, those being the Rangers, Panthers, and Devils. And then above them, we've got six teams who are also bad, but the West is absolutely terrible, so somehow they still have a chance to get in. Those being the Kraken, Predators, Kings, Sharks, Jets, and Blues. Somehow all these teams are still alive and within a few points of making it into the playoffs as a wild card. Go figure. Above them, we got four teams who I would say are mid in the Golden Knights, Ducks, Red Wings, and the Islanders. The two teams in the West are going to make the playoffs. The Islanders are probably going to make the playoffs too, but I have very little confidence in them unless Sorokin just absolutely balls out. The Red Wings, that's an interesting conversation. We'll have that a little bit later on. The Philadelphia Flyers are above them, and while I don't think they're a very good team, they just keep pulling wins and points out of their ass through some sort of black magic. Then, on the other hand, we have the Washington Capitals, who are, actually a good team, I swear to God, and yet it's very likely that they are about to miss the playoffs. But above them, teams who are definitely going to make the playoffs are the Mammoth, Bruins, Penguins, Blue Jackets, and Oilers. I think we'll see all these teams in the spring, but I don't know if I have a lot of confidence that they're going to go deep, other than maybe the Oilers because they have McDavid. Then above them, the Ottawa Senators, another team who is really, really good, but for the love of God, goaltending just continues to punch them in the dick at the last possible moment. And in addition, they're getting some pretty poor quality play from some of their top players. Brady Tkachuk looks like his time in Ottawa might be done after this. If they do make it in, though, I think that they'll be a real threat. Then we have three teams who are fringe contenders, the Stars, Wild, and Lightning. Terrible time for the Stars to have a little bit of a slump, but they are a really good team, and I think that they'll rebound. And then the true contenders are four teams in the Canadiens, the Sabres, Hurricanes, and Avalanche. I think the Avs are head and shoulders above everybody else in the West. In the East, it's a lot closer as these three teams sort of jockey for position amongst themselves. For a long time, I thought it was the Sabres who were going to be number one. But with the Canadiens and Hurricanes having some strong play of late, East is going to be the much more interesting conference to watch in the playoffs.